Hi, bienvenue à tous. I'm Rob, and I'm a recovering corporate executive. Thank you, both of you. Thank you. On philanthropy, Joey Ramone once said, "Giving, if you're not in it, you're out of it." Well, 5 years ago, I left our family business to spend more time on that very thing. After spending my entire career in education learning how to make money, I'm now trying to learn how to give it away effectively. If your philanthropic goal is smart, high-impact giving, I'm here to tell you it can sometimes be easier to make it. I'm proud to say my family places great importance and focus on philanthropy, and I'd like to share some of my learnings from this. I'm not a subject matter expert. All causes are good causes, and I don't believe yet that there's one silver bullet to always achieve high-impact giving. But there is one piece of potential advice that's emerging in my head from our journey. First, actually, for me, it wasn't Joey. Our story begins at the turn of the previous century with my great-grandfather, J.W., and his wife, tithers, who donated 10% of their earnings to the church in our small Nova Scotia coal mining town. His children inherited the importance of giving back. To capture the business-minded imagination of his eldest son, my grandfather Frank, J.W. spoke in a language that perhaps appealed to him. He said, "I don't know how it works, but for every 25 cents you give to the community, you get $1 in return." This became one of the most enduring and recanted pieces of wisdom passed down in our family and was the catalyst for us to understand the power of giving back and the imperative to drill this responsibility into each subsequent generation. As national and global wealth, particularly since the 1980s, accumulates into fewer pockets, the magnitude of the duty to give back is rapidly amplifying. Our family ecosystem approaches philanthropy from three angles: corporate giving, our shared foundations, and the private foundations or direct personal giving of our family branches. With a business background, I think I've been able to pick out the benefits, the successes and pitfalls across these slightly different approaches. But one theme has emerged. I increasingly believe that the key to achieving philanthropic impact is by focusing resources strategically. In business, this is called things like intelligent loss of business or supporting core assets. You may be thinking, yeah, I already do that. Well, good. Smart focus equals smart giving. A few decades ago, our family business formally codified give back to our communities as one of its core values to ensure management understood this basic, enduring family belief. It became a rallying purpose for our employees, got baked into the DNA of the company, and helped activate the teams in our stores, for instance. Corporate social responsibility decisions usually, but not always, emanate from marketing departments in search of unoccupied white space for giving. Typically, a corporation will select one main cause, their version of focus, as they know they can't be everything to everyone. Remember this in your giving. Our second approach, shared family giving, and that's we have 160 folks in our family, uses foundations to protect the longevity of our ability to give back, regardless of business results or personal income, thus protecting the effort. Our shared foundations support things such as culture, health delivery and research, education, local community projects. We do use filters to help narrow our focus across available resources. Questions like, is the ask for capital assets, having a pool named after you, or to cover annual operating costs? But is there a direct identifiable impact? Is there a competent team? Should the need calibrate through endowed funds or more immediate spend down? Is there a natural funding constituent like a provincial government, or is the ask on its own? Frankly, I'm not entirely sure we're focused enough yet in the second avenue of giving to truly maximize potential impact. We've got work to be done. I believe our family's third platform, the enlightened, focused, personal giving of individual branches, might be producing our highest impact. I'm seeing more movement down this path as individuals, small groups, and nimble foundations are really starting to create strong outcomes. They might ask, what are the unaddressed or the future needs in the community? Is there a cause hiding in plain sight? Is the project innovative with a compelling new idea? Is there an opportunity to disrupt current approaches? How many human lives are directly affected, and in what way? By focusing and declaring what you stand for, you're also declaring probably what isn't going to make the cut. Not that it's not a good cause, they're all good causes, but it's about maximizing direct outcomes, dollar for dollar, optimizing impact. My branch's foundation, for instance, worked with our local community college last year to create effective educational access awards with the goal of attracting 100 Nova Scotians per year who, not for lack of smarts or ambition, might not otherwise ever consider going to post-secondary. This taught me the power of staying focused, being innovative, and activating the local. In this case, dozens of community organizations in Nova Scotia, plus law enforcement agencies, to help identify folks that a tuition hand up, not hand out, would impact the most. Be concise and deliberate in your intent on the need you identify and which speaks to you the most. We're also learning that giving shouldn't always be a one-and-done deal. Work closely with leadership of the Ask when possible, and continuously reinvent your association with their cause. Maintain the ability to evolve, transfer, tweak. Sometimes you get entrenched in the current and miss obvious impact opportunities in the future. For instance, the new outcomes of our community college project that I just mentioned was an epiphany for me to switch two of our other three educational awards from merit to merit and needs-based. Focusing can also help you evolve from being reactionary, waiting for asks to come to you, to being pro-actionary, actively seeking out good ideas, or even working with the right people to start something entirely new and impactful with seed capital. But you don't have to reinvent the wheel either. There can be a lot of operating leverage, another business term, in working with asks so that your incremental support leads to direct and immediate outcome. This is what we did last year here with the NGC, for instance, with the new international residencies for our Sobey Art Award, and it's working very well. In our private case, every incremental dollar accrues directly to the artists in that situation. On this note, I spent a day a few years back at a small symposium on philanthropy, attended by, amongst others, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. At lunch, Buffett said, "Yeah, I believe in what the Gates are doing, so I get behind them. I'm not looking for out-of-the-box thinking, because at my age, I'll soon be in a box myself." I did have a feeling the group was recruiting for the Giving Pledge, perhaps the ultimate commitment. I floated by my father, Andrew Carnegie's quote in the late 1800s, "The man who dies rich dies disgraced." Dad, of course, agreed, then asked me if I had signed anything before I left the conference. Focus is a simple notion, but it works. Don't dilute down. Be selective and deliberate on the causes that you truly believe in. Don't skim your surfaces or spread resources too thin. Innovate and always evolve. Thanks for listening.